Hello Zimbabwe and welcome to LiveTalk Women's Roundtable, where we discuss issues affecting women. We are coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. I am your host, Taboka Ncube. Today, as we continue to honor women and celebrate a month dedicated to them, we are discussing issues affecting women in different sectors at a time when the United Nations is convening the 68th Annual Commission on the Status of Women, the UN's largest annual gathering on gender equality and women's empowerment. But first, a look at what is happening in Zimbabwe. Officials in Zimbabwe, Africa's largest tobacco producer, are hoping this year's crop will boost the country's ailing economy. However, demand is not as high as it used to be, and calls are growing for Zimbabwe to move away from tobacco due to health concerns. Columbus Mavunga reports from Harare.
Zimbabwe tobacco auction sales started Wednesday, with the government stating this year's sales will not reach the record $1.2 billion in exports achieved last year because of El Nino-induced drought. Vice President Constantino Chiwenga says tobacco is at the core of reviving Zimbabwe's moribund economy, and its production should increase in the next growing season when government meteorologists are forecasting better rains.
Government regards the tobacco industry as a sector that has great potential to grow and increase our country's foreign exports. Yes, we have got the other sector, the mines and minerals, but agriculture with tobacco currently at the helm plays a major role in our export earnings.
Kesina Mataya, a tobacco farmer, says she wants to help the government reach its goals of building Zimbabwe's middle and upper classes.
I like growing tobacco as it gives a lot of foreign currency, and I'll be able to buy stuff and prop up myself. If you're growing maize or other crops, you don't get good money, unlike if you're growing tobacco.
That's what most Zimbabwean farmers hope for, being paid in foreign currency for their crops given the volatility of the country's local currency. However, UN agencies like the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization are urging farmers to move away from tobacco given the health hazards such as lung cancer linked to smoking. Because of those risks, demand for tobacco has dropped in the last 25 years, according to the World Health Organization. Nevertheless, Zimbabwe's government wants farmers to stick with tobacco.
Tobacco is not the only product that's harmful to people. Sugar is harmful, alcohol is harmful, etc., but people still like it.
Peter Gambara, an independent agriculture economist based in Harare, says hemp production might be a good alternative to tobacco.
People are saying to fluctuate tobacco has these harmful effects on the health of people. Industrial hemp, actually, the products are actually being looked for all over the world. They are required for its medicinal purposes. So we are saying that is an alternative.
Most Zimbabwean farmers have yet to try hemp production, as they say start-up costs are beyond their reach. That indicates a long time may pass before Zimbabwe moves away from tobacco farming. Columbus Mavunga, VOA News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Still in Zimbabwe, a Business Times annual telecommunications conference was held in Harare today. Speaking to Studio 7 at the sidelines of this conference, Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency Chief Legal Officer Teresa Muchinguri said information communication technology plays a major role in advancing women's programs.
ICTs play a critical role in the advancement of women's programs because you see, as women, we've got multiple roles, and if we're able to do things virtually, if I can work from home, still have a job, but still be able to cater for my responsibilities as a mom, be in the house, work from home, still generate an income and be able to sustain and look after my family, that would be something that is transformational. But then the issue of accessibility, issue of affordability, because now I'm obviously going to prioritize meals over, I suppose, getting access to the internet. But if we were able to then have subsidized or policies that also encourage friendly or accessibility, easier accessibility to females to connect to the digital economy, that would be great. Also, we do have an understanding that the AfCFTA has a digital protocol. So we are looking at digital trade. We already know that that Zimbabwe is a signatory to the AfCFTA, and we know that it has a digital trade protocol, and we know that most of the women in the country are traders, and they need to be connected. They need to be part of this digital economy and just be able to also grow their businesses, interact with others, be able to trade not only within the country, but even beyond Africa, because that protocol is focusing on traders. And we know that 90% of women on the African continent are traders, and that's how they raise their families. So we are advocating for policies that are friendly to women connectivity, enabling women to come up with packages that are friendly to them and enable them to be moms, to be present, to not to have to travel so much. Because with digital...
That was Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency Chief Legal Officer Teresa Muchingori speaking to Studio 7 in Harare. One of the conference organizers, AB Communications representative Denny Dube, said information communication technology provides an opportunity for women to have a voice.
As ZFM Stereo, we've adopted it as Women's Month, so we want to celebrate women this month. I think there's several benefits, obviously, that come from ICT, and they're crucial to us putting across this message of celebrating and uplifting women. The first one, obviously, is what people see regularly, what people put in front of their faces regularly influences the way they think. So we've taken the opportunity to use our social platforms and our various platforms that we offer to try and put in front women who are excelling, who are doing well. We're a woman-led organization. Our managing director is a woman. We have several women in positions of management in our organization. So we really want to put the concept and idea of women who have been successful and who are leading and who are doing good things in front of people's minds. So it removes those archaic mindsets that men are the leaders and so on. Of course, there's still a long way to go. We look at many of the sectors that exist in the country. Very often they are male-led. So we're hoping that by putting forward these positive depictions of women in leadership, then we're able to show that side that no, women can lead, and in some cases can lead better than men. So that's one of the ways that we want to use ICT, our social platforms, any visual platforms that we have, to put these positive depictions forward. Another thing that we can do is it allows an opportunity for women to have a voice.
That was AB Communications representative Denny Dube. A young media personality, Monalisa Dube, also spoke to Studio 7 and said information communication technology provides women an opportunity to access information, which is critical for their empowerment.
It's very important to create opportunities for women in Zimbabwe in the ICT sector because you find that there is more opportunities for employment for women, more opportunities for empowerment of women, as well as leadership of women in these key roles. As you know, in previous years, ICT sector, and even if you look in the current space, it's mostly male-dominated, and I think that comes from the grassroots level. So if we start having these conversations with women on the importance of ICT and their role into ICT, I think that also increases their chances of women being part of that space in that as far as ICTs are concerned. I think one of the major issues that have come with gender-based violence and inequality is, access to information when it comes to issues to do with anything that is concerning women. So ICTs create a platform for women to have access to information, and you also find that with that access to information, it comes the knowledge of knowing how do you handle a situation when you are in GBV. I know there has been a lot of talk about the reason why there are a lot of cases of GBV that are thrown down is because there is no evidence. So ICT comes in to enable women to create whatever evidence they need to protect themselves.
That was Monalisa Dube, a young media personality speaking to Studio 7 on the sidelines of a Business Times annual telecommunications conference in Harare this afternoon. Please stay tuned as we take a brief break.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those that have just joined us, please note that we are streaming live on our Facebook pages, VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We are also live on YouTube, VOA Zimbabwe. Today, we are discussing issues affecting women in different sectors at a time when the United Nations is convening the 68th Annual Commission on the Status of Women. This is the UN's largest annual gathering on gender equality and women's empowerment. The U.S. Embassy in Zimbabwe also launched the Determined, Resilient, Empowered, AIDS-Free, Mentored, and Safe Women or Dreams digital campaign today in Zimbabwe's capital city, Harare. The DREAMS program, which is targeting children between 9 and 14 years of age, will enhance children's knowledge on the HIV pandemic and empower them to make informed decisions regarding their sexual health. The project aims at educating adolescents through storytelling via the internet. To discuss this issue, we are joined on the phone by Ms. Siza Mukwedini, the Creative Director at Matamba Film Labs for Women, and Mr. Traimo Ndolo, the Pathways Empowerment, Women Empowerment and Girl Child Support Network founder. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll start with you, Ms. Mukwedini. You worked on the DREAMS campaign, which was launched today together with PEPFAR. What motivated this campaign?
Okay, so what motivated this campaign is that we had the DREAMS campaign has been running, supported by PEPFAR, and their mandate really is to give access to young girls, adolescent girls and women about HIV/AIDS, the implementation to. Sorry, let me take that again. So their support really is to implement the DREAMS initiative in about 16 districts in Zimbabwe. Through their partner organizations, and really the target was that to just raise awareness about HIV/AIDS, like how to prevent HIV infections, how to access antiretroviral therapy, etc., and also how to respond to gender-based violence. But this DREAMS campaign was aimed at girls who were 15 to 24. And we then saw that there was a huge gap because now we were now hearing of even, early child marriages, early pregnancies between girls between 9 to 14 years old. And that was a huge problem. So we then realized that that's a demographic that we also need to create content for. But not only create content, they are also of the digital age. So some of the content that was already there was also not appealing to them because this is the age now that's on their phones, that spends time on their phones, and that understands, the world of memes and gifts. So how do we also catch them because they've got so much information getting to them. But how do we make sure that the critical content gets to them? So that's what inspired this Dreams Digital campaign.
Thank you. Yeah, Baba Ndolo, siyalamukela kuhlelo. Siyabona lapho ukuthi njengelizwe kule mizamo ekhona ukuthi kuphathiswe amankazana labesifazane, njalo sibona njalo i-United Nations layo iqhuba imisebenzi yokuthi kube kuvikelwa abesifazane. Njengelizwe singaphi kulezi ndaba? Alo, lingangena Baba Ndolo. Alo. Alo. Angazi ukuthi lapha.
Hello, ngiyezwakala.
Yes, sesikuzwa baba.
Sethi engakutsho wokuqala ngathi kuma listeners ukuthi happy Women's History Month. Mina ngithi inyanga leyi kakhulukazi siya celebrate ama-achievements, ama-strengths nama-resilience of omama umhlaba wonke jikelele. Ngililanga elibaluleke kakhulu ukuthi sikwanise ukuthi si-recognize i-progress especially that has been made towards gender equality, and to recommit ourselves to the ongoing needs, especially kubomama. I think kubalulekile kakhulu, especially makhayele kakhulu mama. We are not just talking about omama asebekhule kakhulu. We all know that when we talk about women, sikhuluma ngabantwana abesifazana that we call young women. Ukuthi ungakhayela majority yabantwana abanye abama 18, 19, 20 years kusele ngabomama selekhulile umntaka 2000. So kubalulekile kakhulu ukuthi sizame ukuthi sincedisane kakhulukazi when it comes to empowerment of women, especially labantwana abangamankazana. Thina njengenhlanganiso siyakuqakathekisa kakhulukazi si-celebrate, si-campaigna, si-advocate ukuthi omama especially lapha bekhona into zibahambele kuhle. Kungabe kusemsebenzini, kungabe kusemaphandleni, kungabe kusezimulini, umuntu ongumama uqakathekile ukuthi izimbhedi it cannot actually fly, ngoba izimbhedi lempilo ezimbili, eliwani uphiko ngolomama, eliwani uphiko ngolokababa. So it means kumele sihambe sindawonye, singabobaba sisupporte omama, ngoba omama yibo abaqinisa imuli. So kuqakatheke kakhulu. So mase yathi sikubheka ukuthi hayi sibili ikhona imizamo eyenzakalayo ngenhlanganiso ezitshiyeneyo le-government lama-programs, but sithola ukuthi especially umnyaka lo wesikolo, I think u-2024 I think ulejawu kusitshela ukuthi kunzima kakhulu especially masibuya kubomama, ngoba ama-challenges achayisana lawo ma kunendlala ekhaya, and the biggest loser are the children. Ngoma ungasela kudla endlini abantu ekade bekhangela izulu ukuthi bazathola izulu asananga ngemfanelo. So izulu lingasananga ngemfanelo kusho ukuthi isikafu vele kasikho. Already kade simasikhuluma akuli isikafu. Ngikubona ilokuzeni i-World Program ikhulumile yathi Southern Africa itshelini leyi isibisi inkalakatha yejawu. So kumele sihlanganise nina amakhanda sibone ukuthi singancedisana njani, ngoba singeke ukuncedisana omama bazathwala nzima, ngoba izini lemali kayitholakali, ngoba abantu kade kwanisa ukuthi balime bathole izilimo zabo. Kuhle even isithelo izulu imali engananga kuthi ukuthi umphusho akawukho uyidelele, kungabe kungolude ngama-supplement la esikhuluma ngawo. Already awusela ama-supplement. How are we going to move? Kuthi ukuthi inhlanganiso especially ezenza kakhulu ngama-awareness campaign on gender issues kumele bakwanise ukuthi bebe lama-campaigns amaningi batshele kuzulu ukuthi umnyaka lo into kazimanga futhi abantu kabasebenzelane ndawonye kuqakathekile ngoba uma bengasebenzelana ndawonye kusho ukuthi uma kulendlala kuzaba nama-divorce kube nama-separation abantwana bethwale nzima especially umntwana oyinkazana siyaba lama-early child marriages ukuze vele le mali uma ingasekho imali omele itholakale ngesikafu umntwana oyinkazana ukhayelele ukuthi athole into zakhe zokusebenza ama-ese esikhathini so imali yakhe esikhathini kusho ukuthi umntwana oyinkazana akasatholi into omele azithole so ngathi ngomafitshane ngokunye engingakutsho mina njengomsekeli uleader we-pathways women empowerment and girl child support network ebhese ngaseFolos ngaseZimbabwe.
Yes, siyabonga babandolo lingayikhatshana hlalelani eduze laphana titsokere kwamuri muzware mukwedini tichitarisa campaign iyi ya launchwa pazuva ranhasi ndezvipi zvimwe zvezvinhu zvamuchange muchidzidzisa vana ava uyezve mune chinangwa chekuti munge panopera campaign iyi munge mazadzisa chii?
Okay, saka zvatautaura zviendo zvekuti i-digital campaign is aimed at vana 9 to 14 vari in different districts around Zimbabwe. Or any of our children who can get access to this content. And my topics are kunyanya kuda kuti vange vachidzidza akasiyana-siyana. Saka tichange tichivadzidzisa through tipane content ine ma-animation, 5-part animation series, ine ma-comic strips, ine ma-activity book, as well as anthem song yakaitwa naTandisana, ine ma-memes, ine ma-gifts, and then in a board game as well yavanogona kutamba saka ma-assets aya arimo ari hybrid or kureva kuti ari digital. They can access them on their phones as well as can get them in print form. Saka ma-topics akasiyana-siyana anokavwa through ma-components e-content area ndataura zvakafanana nema-psychosocial, atinoti ma-psychosocial issues, different psychosocial issues akafanana nekuti early child marriages, again reinforcing the ABCs of HIV, the importance of dreams clubs for girls to actually be in my dreams clubs, facing stigma and discrimination after maybe one is had a baby at the age of 14 and how she then integrates back into society and back to school. Also issues to do with growing up as young women, child marriages, intergenerational marriages, and how then they can be empowered as young women. So my topics are chakati and anouya muma different formats andataura pamusoro ekuti anouya either through my activity book, animation series, kana muma comic strips, kana even through the song. Saka zvatiri kuda kuti zviitike nezvekuti vana vakangowanda, this is one of the assets anofanira kuwana uchadzidza ipapo. And biggest takeaway ndeyekuti toda kuti varangarire acronym yedu yedreams yatinoti determined, resilient, empowered, age-free, mentored and safe. Ndo zvatinenge tichishuvira pamusoro pazvo zvose. Saka tikufara chaizvo ende tikufara kuti content is going to be available also. Tinoda tiite inonzi trickle effect yekuti ive nyangwe vana vedu vati kure pakawana access akafunga kuti ndine munin'ina wangu ari kumba ane 9 years anogona kubenefita wekuti angonzwisisa kuti what are the ABCs of HIV, then anogona kuwana content inoenderana naye. Kana vamwe vari muclass kana vari kudzidzawo nezvema-intergenerational marriages, tine character irimo tine character irimo yekuti inogona kuti ivabatsire again to reiterate lesson yavanenge vachidzidza muma-animation series maybe or mu-activity book. Saka ndo yakaenderana content iyo ine vana ve 9 to 14 years.
Tinotenda Mr. Ndolo, sikhangela lapho ukuthi uhlelo lolu esilubona lulontshe namhlanje eZimbabwe Ole Dreams lukhangela ke udaba lomkhuhlane we-HIV le-AIDS. What's your take on such initiatives? Are they helpful at such a time where we are seeing a challenge eyendlala laphana ukuthi nxa kusiba le ndlala kwejayele ukuthi abantu ikakhulu abantwana bekhangelana lodubo lokuthi bayasetshenziswa laphana kumbe ukuthengisa imizimba yabo?
Ya kubalulekile kakhulu, mina kuyangijabulisa especially initiative le elontshiweyo. Mayikhayele i-HIV and AIDS mase kule ndlela kakhulu abantwana abangamankazana bagcina besenza okungayisiko labafunda ukuthi olambile sebekwana ukuthi benjani beroje, they become vulnerable. So I think i-program le ibalulekile kakhulu ukuthi inhlanganiso ezikhona ezisebenza labo mama labantwana abangamantombazana kumele kubonakala ukuthi kwenziwa ama-campaign amaningi in line with initiative elontshwe namhlanje ukuze even kule ndlela but sikwanise ukuthi si-decrease ama-issues awe-gender domestic violence as well indaba lokuthi igciwane lingabi lisiya phambili but lehle. I think kuqakathekile kakhulu.
Yes, siyabonga. Briefly, Ms. Mukwedini, as a lady as well, who is making it in the storytelling or film industry, what are the challenges that you have encountered and the recommendations that you would have for other young ladies, especially at such a time when the country is facing a drought and they are vulnerable?
Okay, so what I can encourage, I've been a film practitioner for I think about 19 years now, and I started when I was very young. I was also about maybe 17 years of age. But what I can encourage other young women is that you have to be persistent. It's not going to be easy. It's not a very easy space to be in, but you have to push for your dreams. As you can see, we actually worked on this digital campaign for about 1.5 years. So it's not something that you just did in 6 weeks and boom, we've got a product. But it took time and patience and testing and, getting advice, testing the content, taking it to people who would also give feedback and we would then also go back to the drawing board and then get to rework our ideas and our strategies. So it's very important that, women, whatever it is that you are dreaming of or whatever it is that you want to achieve, it will not just come easy, but we have to soldier on, we have to fight for what we believe in, and we really just have to fight for our dreams. So that's just the main encouragement that I can give other women who also want to create content, because it's quite critical that we create our content with our own voice as women in Zimbabwe, because the stories that we are going to tell, we know that they are critical to us and we know exactly what we are going through. We can't also allow someone who's not from here to come and tell those stories for us or advise us how we should create and live our lives, but how do we tell our stories from our everyday life? So it's very important to have our voices empowered.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Let me take this opportunity to thank you, Ms. Mukwedini and Mr. Ndolo, for coming on the program. And that brings us to the end of our show. Signing off in Washington, I am Taboka Ngube.